Stranded. Written by Anthony G. Martinez. Narrated by Mia L. Keshawn and his sister Tanisha were walking down a corridor. He was deep in thought as Tanisha was speaking to him. He bumps into her, not realizing she stepped in front of him to get his attention, since asking for it wasn't working. Keshawn, bemused, says, "What?" Tanisha, concerned for her big brother, said wholeheartedly, "I can't imagine what you are going through, but you're still here. Be here. If not for us, for her." Keshawn's face tightens. "I'll try." Tanisha smirks. "Let's go eat." Keshawn wasn't hungry and was going to tell his sister so, but she would not allow him to starve any further, since she could see his clothes weren't as fitted as they were before. The cafeteria that feeds the residents of the keep, a spaceship housing nearly 1 billion humans, has rows of tables covering the length of the cafeteria that is encircled by glass windows staring out into outer space. Keshawn occupied a table far from the other people of the keep. Dipping his spoon into the chunky, milky soup, Keshawn raises it above the bowl and pours it back. Tanisha, back from the kitchen with her tray in hand, she places it with her brother as she sits next to him. Setting aside napkins and small packets of condiments, she gets a glimpse of her brother playing with his food. "You know better, Keshawn." Placing the spoon in the bowl, he stares at the soup. "I told you I'm not hungry." Tanisha didn't want to argue with him, but she knew a trick that could change his stubborn ways quickly. "You know how Mom gets. If she saw you withering away, she will stick a spoon down your throat and force-feed you until you get fat again." Peeved by her statement, but Keshawn knew she wasn't wrong. He grabs the spoon and scoops a bit of the soup and sips it. Tanisha smiles, happy to see her brother trying. Then a smack from Jin's hand, contacting Keshawn's back, caught him and Tanisha by surprise. Mostly Keshawn, as he nearly choked on the liquid in his mouth. Clearing his throat, Jin tried to help him by patting him on the back, but Keshawn shrugged him off. Jin, indifferent, takes a seat by Keshawn's sister. Leaning toward Tanisha, he asks if Keshawn was showing any improvements. Tanisha lowered her voice. "Other than him finally leaving his room, not much." Jin imitated her tone. "Maybe seeing more friends could get him going?" Tanisha smiled. "Hopefully." Not a second after, Bianca, Kimmy, Esteban, Solomon, and Jeremy were all walking to the table where Keshawn, Tanisha, and Jin were sitting. They tried to be as normal as possible when taking their seats, but they tried to get into a conversation with Keshawn, who didn't want any part of the topic they were discussing. They backed off and carried on with their conversation without him. Keshawn shook his head, annoyed by their presence. "What? Don't you guys got somewhere else to be?" The group was taken aback, except for Tanisha, who knew their mom and dad had taught them better. "Come on, Keshawn, don't be like that. They're worried about you." Everyone agreed. "Yeah, well, have you all ever heard of space?" Keshawn said with his glare directly at the bowl of soup. Uncertain of what to say, Kimmy found the words everybody was having a hard time finding. "We're hurting too. She was a friend to us before she was someone you loved deeply. It's bothering us too, to know Linnell is no longer with us." Keshawn is trying to keep a strong front, but what's been boiling since the start of the day is spilling out. Tanisha is watching her brother struggle to keep it in, but he needs to let it go. She wrapped her arms around her brother to let him know to do so. Keshawn breaks, and they all gathered around him. Captain Milo and his crew of 15 stared at the glass monitor in front of the control room. Red square prompts displayed on the glass, marking the asteroids. Rowan, the second in command, perplexed, says, "Where did it come from?" Milo, confused as well, says, "We can't question that now. It's headed our way. Start evasive maneuvers." Alice was watching the glass monitor. "We will still be hit. We need to evacuate the residents of the keep." Milo nodded his head in agreement. Ready to divulge the predicament they were in to the keep, more asteroids appear from the nothingness of space. The crew was in awe. Milo as well, but could refocus. He yells at his team to wake up and start the process. This has been Stranded, written by Anthony G. Martinez, narrated by Mia L.